I don't need him to tell you about that because he's here himself. Raven Master, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming. Tell me about Munan's escape. What happened?
I was a little bit worse for wear one morning when I was getting the ravens up, and it was at a time when I was going through some minimum wing trimming, and Munan herself wasn't trimmed up very much, and when I opened up the enclosure, she got out and flew off.
And was it okay?
No.
No.
No, she flew off, and she disappeared for 7 days. She was eventually found in Greenwich on the Royal Observatory.
Astronomy.
Yeah. And did she come back then? Did you take her back?
Well, she did eventually. She was caught by a member of the public and eventually returned back to the Tower of London under an ASBO, and that's where she spent the rest of her life.
Is it true that ravens play Kaplunk?
Yes. But not with plastic straws. I use spaghetti straws because it's obviously better for them.
Yeah.
And in fact, Munan was very, very good at it. It would take her about 45 seconds or so to get the mouse out with going around and pulling out all the spaghetti.
And did you use a real mouse?
Yes, I did, yes.
Oh, okay, moving on.
With very small pants. Very small pants.
Because they're not ravens, they were crows, and what's the other one? Rooks. Rooks, yes. And I don't know how to tell the difference between them.
Well, they're different species, really. A raven happens to be about twice the size of a crow, so it's like the daddy of all the birds, really, and the most intelligent.
They have excellent memories, do they not? Is that right?
They do, they remember for life, yes, for good and bad reasons as well. Some of them like me, some of them, like Munan, who I chased around Greenwich, didn't.
Now, talked about having a very good memory. So here's the thing: you were supposed to be on the show before we had lockdown, and you were supposed to be here on your wedding anniversary. So we're very excited about this. You've got your wife Jasmine with you. Hello, Jazz. Welcome to the show. How many years is it? 32. Wow, that's fantastic. So anyway, because you were coming in on your wedding anniversary and you were both going to be here, we thought we'd get you a cake. So we're now here, finally doing this show. 5 months later, we found the cake. It was still backstage. The cake is there, shaped like your hat. It was a light sponge. We're going to get Tom to decide later on.
But I'll judge it. Yes. I feel like it might be quite a heavy sponge now. I think the ravens might get it soaked in blood.
But thank you both very much for coming in.
Absolute pleasure, thank you for having us.
Lovely. Raven George was dismissed for being stark raven mad. Now, what's the most reliable way to recognise a rattlesnake?
Cool.
Go for it, Ned.
It's rattle.
Yeah. No, why not?
They're all the same.
No, they're not all the same. Not all rattlesnakes rattle. Is the problem.
That'd be annoying if you were a rattlesnake.
One thing.
None of the other rattlesnakes hang out with them.
No, it'd just be embarrassing.
Yeah.
The Santa Catalina rattlesnake, Santa Catalina is an island off the coast of Southern California. It doesn't have a rattle at all. And nobody knows why. Maybe because it lives on an island where there aren't any large hoofed mammals. There's very few humans that might stumble. It basically doesn't need one.
So what makes it a rattlesnake?
Yeah.
It's just a snake.
No, you can tell the rattlesnake by its head, by its triangular head and its slitty eyes and so on. It just doesn't have this particular thing. Let's have a quick look at one that does have a rattle. That's what the rattle sounds like. This is obviously not living in Santa Catalina.
It's quite distinctive. You'd run away from that.
You would, yeah. So the other possibility is, if it doesn't have a rattle, is that it's a baby rattlesnake.
Ah.
Yeah, they're born with venom but without the rattle. So the bit that we saw there is a segment of, again, keratin, and those grow bit by bit. It sheds its skin when it's young every few weeks, and then each time a new segment of this keratin is added, and the snake needs at least 2 or 3 of those, you imagine, in order to make that distinct rattling sound. And it comes from those keratin segments knocking against each other. So
Weird, isn't it? Because if you're a human and you've got a rattle, you're definitely a baby.
yes, I know.
What is it?
And also an adult could lose the rattle through injury or through, just
Well, that
old age, bloody annoying.
setting for them.
But if you have a look at the one coming towards you, you can see that it's distinctive even without the rattle. You can see the triangular head, and it's got these... Yeah, I mean, it's slightly creepy. Yeah. Oh, you don't like it, Tom?
No, I do have a pathological fear of all snakes, so it's no big deal that there's a massive one on the screen. But
Straight towards it.
I just might not look up if that's all right.
Tom, it's gone. Tom, it's
No,
gone.
it's
Don't worry
not.
about it.
Tom, you're all right, Tom.
Tom, you're fine.
Yeah, just look up now.
There's not one coming in though, is there? There's not like, oh, and we've got one here now.
We made it.
Yeah.
Like I will run all the way home.
Yeah,
In
and
the
now
cake.
the
In the
keeper of
cake.
rattlesnakes. If you are bitten by a snake, what should you do?
Oh, I'd just die. I would just
No,
die.
you probably wouldn't, darling. That's
Really? Would I not?
Probably not. No. In the United States, about 9,000 people a year are bitten by a snake, and about 5 die. So statistically,
You're supposed to.
Wheel on it.
Yeah, you get someone to wheel on
are
it.
you confusing jellyfish?
I just think it's always worth a go.
Stop by anything. We on it.
Have a quick wheel. You get a cowboy from a film to suck out the venom.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's too muddled. Yeah. Do you wee on it or do you suck out the venom?
Yes, I know. Just out of there having a debate with yourself, trying to work it out.
Just try it all. Have a wheel, have a suck. Why not?
Excuse me, cowboy. Would you mind having a wee or a suck? I've been bitten by a snake. Now, it's not a chat about...
We'll get you to do the voiceover.
Yeah, so, X points. A large, handsome cowboy.
This
Call an ambulance, you fools.
in America, no thanks, I can't afford that. Just suck it.
Stay calm, basically. You don't want to raise your heart rate.
Stay calm, you'll die.
Yeah, but you've got about 12 hours to 18 hours before it turns too serious. You've got time to go, and the main thing is, if it's on a limb, apply some pressure to the bite. You don't want it spreading. Actually, but
So it's a tourniquet. That's
yeah, you certainly don't want to suck it. Then you're going to get it in your mouth. You might have a cut in your mouth, die that way. I think that's a terrible idea. Now, why did the Japanese import so many raccoons?
God, we're talking about something else that I can look up.
Yeah. You're all right with raccoons? No. I don't know anything about it. But it used to be whether the horse was from good stock, so whether the parents or the siblings had won lots and lots of races. But in fact, they did some analysis. There's a man called Jeff Setter. He's a racehorse analyst. So he collected lots of data from young racehorses about how many races they had won, and the size of the left ventricle was the most telling physical trait. So the left ventricle is obviously the bit that pumps oxygen back out. They are unbelievably destructive and vicious.
They're quite violent. They're quite...
Quite vicious, yes. But by then, over 1,500 raccoons a year had been brought into Japan until they eventually banned them. And they're not suited to domestic life at all. And they released them into the wild in droves, and they're now complete pests. About 80% of all temples in Japan have suffered raccoon-related damage.
The clue was there when he was called Rascal.
Ah, yes. I don't know how that translates in Japanese.
It's
Cute. The Japanese name for them is areguma, which means washing bear, and it's thought that they wash their food because they so often dip it in water and roll it around in these incredibly dexterous hands, so they have an incredible sense of touch. And 2/3 of their sensory data comes from touch, and water is thought to help this tactile ability to retrieve the information that they're holding. Why do you think they have a mask? Why do you think they have that thing around the eyes?
coronavirus.
Yeah.
They have it on public transport.
Yeah.
And
They
take it off when they get.
they take it off when they're putting it on.
So responsible.
Yeah, they knew about it before we did.
Yes.
But it's on their eyes. Well,
Yeah, they got it wrong.
Yeah.
But that's why they're always washing their hands. They're very...
In and out. Burrow. One way.
Any thoughts? Dark mask around the eyes?
Camouflagey about it.
Well, we're not really sure, but it may just reduce glare.
They do like the American footballers do that. They put dark
Yeah.
black under there, then it reduces the glare from them.
I thought it just looked mean.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it has got a bit warm. That was the original idea.
The Japanese do have a native population of raccoon dogs, which are totally unrelated to raccoons despite their appearance, and they call them tanuki. So the one on the right is a raccoon dog, and the one on the left is a raccoon. They are not in any way related. They're very important in Japanese mythology, so sometimes outside shops you see statues of raccoon dogs, and here are your huge testicles, okay, not your.
I knew there was a reason I didn't look for this.
What I meant was huge testicles we talked about on horsing.
I can't sit comfortably in it.
I know. So these statues outside shops sport huge testicles, and there we are. And
Unmistakably.
Yeah, there I am.
there's a children's song, and the song goes, I'm translating roughly here. Tan tan, the tanuki's testicles ring, the wind has stopped blowing, but still they swing, swing. What child in the world doesn't know?
I love that. I love that lovely
Eat with no breeze at all.
Keep on sweeping.
Those testicles are all the better with the fact they move when there's no wind.
He doesn't look well, does he? Doesn't look well at all.
Constantly horrified by the size of his own testicles.
Or just exhausted from dragging.
Right, moving on. Name a rock sucker who doesn't have a scrotum. Do you like the width and variety of the questions I asked?
When I said about the balls earlier on the horse, everyone was like, no, don't be so disgusting. Why are you obsessed with talking about scrotum? Every question.
Are we
Right.
We do next year when it's the S series. We're going to have no scrotum.
No scrotum. You'll have run out of scrotums.
Name a rock singer who doesn't have a scrotum.
Well, so Avril Lavigne, Pink.
Yes, darling. Quite right. No boy comes up with this. Debbie Harry, Janis Joplin, Stevie Nicks.
It does sound like an interview question from like 1960s Q magazine. Got to name one rock singer without a scrotum. Go on.
It isn't an actual rock singer, although it kind of is. It's a creature called the rock hyrax, also known as the rock rabbit. It's found in Africa and in the Middle East. So the male does not have a scrotum. It keeps its testes in its abdomen. What it does have is the most fascinating system of communication, which is communicating through singing.
I'm not surprised if it's balls. It must be very
It's got about 30 syllables that it can do, wails and chucks and squawks and squeaks and tweets, and it turns it into a song that can last several minutes. And it's a bit like birdsong. It's a sort of form of self-advertising. So you can tell about its size, its age, its social status, even its hormonal state, that kind of thing. We have a rock hyrax singing. Please do not think, as soon as you've heard this, you're going to rush out and get the album. It's just on the edge of disappointment. I'm just going to put it out there. Okay, let's have a listen.
Andy Kershaw, play that. On the radio. Now a new one for the Rock Hyrax.
You look so grumpy. Yes, it does.
I was sort of looking for something a bit more romantic.
A bit more swingy.
Yeah.
It's all to do with having its bollocks stuck in its tummy. It's nothing to do with singing or its social status. That's...
It could also be to do with its childhood, I think, because baby hyraxes have to eat their parents' poo, which is in the law.
They don't have to.
Yes, they do have to. They don't have the necessary bacteria to digest plant stuff, so a bit like baby koalas, the solution is to eat the mother's feces.
There's got to be another solution.
Get it while it's hot. Before it goes cold.
So a hyrax is about this big. It's about that big.
And its poo is this.
What would you guess their closest relative to be?
Meerkat.
Yeah, you would think that, but it's not.
Well, it's not their parents if they're making them do that.
It's upset you, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's not. It's just not on.
No.
I think they could just have a yogurt or something.
Something with friendly bacteria.
Yeah.
That would be much more civilized.
The nearest relative to a hyrax. Pick an animal.
Mouse, rat, cat, dog,
Huge.
coon.
Huge. Elephant.
An elephant.
No, an elephant.
Yeah. Elephants and sea cows or manatees. They share a fairly recent common
It's going to come on next time when science got it wrong.
Can you believe we ever thought these three things were related?
One geneticist, one wrong decimal place.
Geneticist. Wrong geneticist.
Can I just say that I think the elves were a little bit drunk because they said, I said, what was the common ancestor? And they did a picture for me. Just have a look at this. This is their view of what the common ancestor is. Elephants and hyraxes have certain characteristics which they share. So elephants don't have scrotums. They keep their testes near their abdominal cavity.
Or you can say the suitcase or something.
I thought they had meant to have their scrotums outside to keep the testes cool. Because always the sperm doesn't produce properly.
Humans keep them outside for that reason, but elephants don't. Both have tusks, and instead of claws, they have the same flat hoof-like nails that elephants do. So if you look at the feet of the hyrax,
Oh, yeah, they look like they've got those slippers on.
yes, and actually look at the ends of the flippers on the manatee and the dugong. Has a similar sort of look to it, doesn't it? And both female hyraxes and female elephants have a pair of teats near their armpits.
Beg your patience.
It's not pleasant, is it?
Tucking kids, calm yourselves.
After you've had your shit. Are you going to have milk?
Now it's time for the relentless rat race that is general ignorance, so fingers on buzzers, please. What does Alan's swamp monkey use its tail for?
I'm not answering.
Well, that'd be
Dangling
the
from
steps. So that all...
No, so it can't swing from trees or dangle from trees. Why not?
It's a fish.
It's on it, right in front of
It's
it.
in the water. Could be a fish. Could be hanging like a fish.
The other one was like an elephant. I mean, why is that not a fish?
Yes. No, its tail is not prehensile. It's not able to grasp anything, so the tail would need to be prehensile if you're going to swing through a tree. So there are different monkeys. There are old world monkeys and new world monkeys, and the swamp monkey is an old world monkey, so native to Africa and Asia. And the New World monkeys are in the Americas. Most old world monkeys do have tails, but the tail is not prehensile, it's mainly for balance. So only New World monkeys, the ones from the Americas, have prehensile tails and those can grab things and swing through the trees. In fact, we can have a look at a New World monkey. There we are. Look at that, it's astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So monkeys from the Americas can do that, but African monkeys can't do that.
No, they don't have that ability with the tail to grab things. There are lots of creatures that do have prehensile tails. So why not give them that gift? I don't know.
They can't hang from that. I could have sworn I've seen them doing it.
Do you think it's a conspiracy?
I'm trying to think of the monkeys in London Zoo.
Well, they're neither here nor there.
They're in
They're
London.
not... They're, they're
London monkeys, right?
They're
big city monkeys.
Yeah, there's Richard.
They've got controlled parking zones.
There are lots of creatures with prehensile tails. There's the seahorses and anteaters, harvest mice, tree pangolin, and there are also creatures with extraordinary things. So creatures with prehensile lips, rhinos have that, harvest mice have the prehensile tail, cats have prehensile claws, so they can grab and grasp things. The giraffe, if you have a look, has got a prehensile tongue. Most extraordinary, and I'm not going to look at it as I say this. Tapirs have prehensile penises.
Yes, I knew someone was going to. Me too. No way. No way. With all the evolution that's gone on, someone was going to get one. As soon as we finish here, I'm going to swing home.
What do they do with it?
I say, why did that make them survive?
It's so much better when you're watching the telly and you can't reach the stand.
Before the remote was invented.
It keeps them.
Put the nachos a bit nearer.
It keeps them coupled.
Yeah.
Like barbs on foxes.
Yes, or with a pig, which is a corkscrew penis. It's a I know.
Yeah, you could get one pig and then spin the other pig in.
I think even worse than that, well, for me anyway, the leaf beetle larvae, they have prehensile anuses, okay? It's like a sort of anal turret, and what they can do, they can build shields out of poo on their backs. And they place each piece of poo on their backs, and it becomes this sort of growing structure, and they can even move it slightly.
Just
and it's
pleased for them that they don't know that's weird.
Yeah.
They had any sort of consciousness that they were shitting on their own backs, and that was nobody else was doing that.
Yeah.
And if you're
I've
going
got an anal turret. Why? I could have had a prehensile cock. I could have had massive bollocks and Ed Gamble.
Right, moving on. What should you call this if you are in Wales? Yes, Nick.
Rabbit.
No, so it's been around since the 1500s. But the idea of woolly Welsh rabbit comes in 1785. It's a corruption of Welsh rabbit, which you find much earlier. You find that in 1725. So according to Fowler's English Usage, 1926, Welsh rabbit is amusing and right, Welsh rarebit is stupid and wrong. I like a dictionary that just tells you straight out how things are.
Why have you got up a picture of the moon?
It's like a large
picture of the moon.
But it's possible they were making a joke at the Welsh's expense, which is mean, isn't it?
So I've been asking for Welsh rabbit, and it turns out I've been offensive. Right?
Offensive, yes. So to say Welsh in the Middle Ages was a slur, it sort of meant fake or poor or foreigner. And there were lots of stereotypical jokes about the Welsh love of cheese. Right, speaking of rabbits, let's go back to the moon. Can you name a star that is the same size as the new moon?
A star that is the same size.
Size as the new moon. It's a slightly tricky question.
Yes. Well, the stars are massive.
Okay, at the time of recording, the planet Earth has acquired a new moon. It's a tiny asteroid, which we think has been circling the Earth for about 3 years. It's known as 2020 CD3, and it's somewhere between 1.9 metres and 3.5 metres in diameter, so it's about the same size as Richard Osman. This
Object in
that's our star. That's our star that I
Good idea for
say.
what to do with
You
it.
see, a star that is the same size as the new moon. Has this not made kind of space news? This
What, I think one of the challenges, what do you define as a moon?
okay. We've had lots of things on this show when we
Oh, we've had so many moons,
Yes.
honestly.
How many moons? Right. How many moons would you say the Earth has? And we have variously said there are 2, which include Cruinia, a cold little body of
I
the
can
sun.
remember Rich Hall sitting in that very chair
Yes.
saying, "It's called the moon."
We've had many moons as an answer because
Yes.
of the small asteroids, and we've had